Well, hello there and welcome back to another video. Today I have a non-spoiler review for Avengers Infinity War. And first things first, for those of you who have seen the movie, I'm sure you're wondering how on earth I'm going to manage to do a review without spoiling anything. Well, here's the deal. I've gone through my notes extensively, checked and double checked, and I'm not going to reveal anything about the film or the plot that hasn't already been revealed in earlier trailers or posters. Because if you are yet to see the film, then I think the less you know about the plot, the better. But don't worry, there is still plenty to talk about today. If you've seen the movie, then you can smile and wink along with me, and if not, perhaps this will help you decide whether you should go and see it or not. And the first thing I'm going to say is you should see this movie. Or should I say, at some point in your life, you should see this movie. But only go and see it now if you have seen all or most of the previous Marvel installments, certainly the most recent ones. You can probably watch it regardless and you might even enjoy it, but the film has been designed for those who have stuck through from the beginning. The whole film feels like it's been crafted to reward those who have watched all the other movies, and reward them it does. This is not really a film, which you can take as a good thing or a bad thing. It's an experience. It's an event. I openly admit that I'm quite a Marvel skeptic. I like the occasional movie, there are a few of them that I love, but I'm not a die-hard fan. Some of their movies really bore me. But while I was sat watching Infinity War, I couldn't help but think to myself, fair play. Kudos to Kevin Feige, who's like the big producer behind the whole cinematic universe. Fair play, you've done something that plenty of people have attempted but no one has ever really succeeded in. And I think even the critics, and you might be among them, who hate this film and everything that Marvel stands for, you have to take your hats off to this movie, because in one way or another it was truly 10 years in the making. At my screening, someone behind me whispered just as it was starting, prepare for cinematic history, and I agree. Trust me when I say that it is not a spoiler, that the plot is a direct result of most of the previous other films. Events and happenings all around the Marvel Cinematic Universe have led to Thanos being in the position that he is at the start of this film. And so although a lot happens and there are certainly a lot of characters, for those who have stuck through and watched the other movies, you get rewarded in knowing that the backstory and the reasoning for a lot of the events that happen in the movie you've already seen, and they've already been explored in great detail in 2 hours or more. And in a way it does give a weird richness to the movie that is so unfamiliar. But I'm going to have to talk about it more in my spoiler review. Now, on my way home from the cinema, I got thinking, what is this film comparable to? How can I describe it to someone that hasn't seen it? And the best I could come up with was Return of the King, the final installment of the Lord of the Rings franchise. Because it's a spectacle of all of these familiar characters and epic action scenes. Crossed maybe with a little bit of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, where you feel like all of these characters that you know and love have been heading to this point all along, and truly anything could happen. And there are so many darn characters. Nearly all of the Marvel heroes are confirmed to be in this movie. But what about the new characters, in particular Thanos and his friends, all again previewed in the trailers? Well, they had the 3 characteristics needed for great villains: power, evil and reason. In recent years, particularly I think in Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther, Marvel has managed to finally make convincing villains who aren't just evil for the sake of being evil. And although this film is packed full of characters, plot and action, I appreciated that they took the time to explain why what was happening was happening. But what are my non-spoiler criticisms? Well, first up, the visual effects. You'll see in the credits, and because it's a Marvel movie, you'll probably watch through all of the credits, quite how many visual effects artists worked on this film. And it's good, maybe average, some of the sequences maybe above average, but I feel like I've said this before, it's 2018 and the standard for CGI is so high that as a personal plea to Marvel for future films, please spend a little bit more coin developing your visual effects techniques. Or should I say, allow a little bit more time and money to the visual effects companies that you use. We're going to have to talk about the visual effects industry in a different video, as it's a whole interesting topic on its own. But the world benchmark has been set by Weta Digital, the company behind the recent Planet of the Apes films and the recent Disney Jungle Book reboot, which is the best visual effects I've ever seen on screen. So please send in a spy, send in a lorry full of cash, whichever will improve the VFX in time for Avengers Infinity War Part 2 coming out this time next year. So in conclusion, should you go and watch this movie? Yes, but when you're ready. It's a little piece of movie history and may break box office records, as we discussed in yesterday's show, but once you've seen it, you really can't unsee it. So make sure you know what's going on in the universe in the lead up to Thanos' arrival. and trust me, because it's a finale, you will enjoy it a lot more. And if you hate superhero films, then you'll hate this, so just don't bother. But credit where credit is due, this film had me shook. If you've seen the movie or have any thoughts, then let me know in the comments down below. But perhaps save any comments that might include spoilers for my spoiler review, which is going to be coming soon. Speaking of which, I'm planning to release my spoiler review in the next 48 hours, so now's the time to go and watch it and get ready to report back with your thoughts. And that's where I'm going to leave the show for today. If you want to watch more of me, then I'll leave another video around here. And all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.